What's up, guys? Joel here, bringing you my deck profile today of my Gear Chronicle deck. I got second place today at my locals. It was fun. Um, Best of one match going into the final match, which was match. I lost to Chaos Breaker, which is actually the one deck that I was scared to play against. But I want to address that I have not posted a video in like probably 3 years. Because I've been in and out with work, family, school, girlfriend. Went back to play Yu-Gi-Oh for a while. Really cool, but I'm back here at Vanguard. I'm ready to show you guys what I got after being gone for so long, from having nothing to having all the decks that I want. And for my first tournament back, I decided to play Gear Chronicle. It's a very fun deck. I love it. It's you have to really think about it, especially with the plays, and what's left of your deck. But yeah, going into my starting Vanguard, I play Chrono Dran as my starting Vanguard. In the best of one scenario, this card was better, a better choice, in my opinion. It produces a lot of advantage, especially giving you a Chrono Jet from deck and being able to stride, and as well as giving you an extra column when you time leap it. I love the fact that, like, with Metallica Phoenix, like, minimal effort of setting up another column, going Metallica, then attack with this, attack with whoever, History Maker, or whatever you do, the Metallica into Chrono Dran, gets you a grade 1, then puts us in Soul, gets you Chrono Jet, and sets you up, which is, in my opinion, very, very cool. So this produced a lot of play, putting 2 cards out of the deck rather than bringing 2 cards out of the deck, like with at least one of them being an 11k boost or 11k base. Main decking 2 TikTok Worker absolutely is another good starter. What I messed up on playing against Chaos Breaker was actually making this my starter instead in the match series. Making him my starter and playing these 2 in the deck, I should have kept Chrono Dran out, but I decided to go ahead and play this during the second game, which screwed me over. Should have played Chrono Dran, because having him in my hand would have been, or at least coming out of him in my hand or coming from the deck would have been helpful. But I still play 2 TikTok Worker just because, like, he could produce some good amount of damage and continue on with plays. Just like Chrono Dran may not be as strong unless you do call, like, upstream. But yeah. Trigger lineup, we're playing 4 Uluru being the best heal trigger, and then 4 Heart Thump Worker for the Chrono Jet crits. Very, very powerful. And then with the best of one scenario and knowing the final was going to be a match set, if I made it all the way through, I knew I wanted to play 12 crits. 12 crits, honestly, in my opinion, is like the best for this deck. I don't like the stand trigger at all, especially in a best of one scenario. The stand trigger could really screw you over, as if you have just the Vanguard and then one standing unit, and then you drive check a stand trigger, it really does nothing for you, unless you have a rested unit in the back with, like, Mellum, or with upstream that you called, or at least Mellum. But I preferred playing the 12 critical. 12 critical just seemed very, very helpful to me today, and I don't ever see myself with this deck ever playing the stand triggers. If anything, if I wanted to, I could drop this down into the draw triggers. But personally, how I feel is that this deck produces really good hand advantage, and as well as really good good hand advantage. And on top of that, like, a lot of the key components, like, you kind of want to keep in the deck to see what else you can play, and the draw triggers can really screw those over. Grade 1s, play 4 Arlem, only way to countercharge in this deck. 4 Steam Breath Dragon, very, very strong, especially being stride assist and able to get a Chrono Jet if you need it. 3 Mellum absolutely probably the MVP grade 1 of the deck. I don't like playing this card at 4, because let alone just like little to none of just like seeing it, of being at 3, which would be the neg part of it. But I felt that 3 was very more optimal because I did want to play 8 grade 3s, so I dropped the 4th one just so I could keep the 3 going, or keep the 8 plays going. But Melon could really does help out. And then double GG for the drop power. If anything, I might just cut this and put back the 4th Melon, but I'm liking double GG. There are plays where you can go double GG, or it's very rare when you do it, but if you do it, you do it. If not, then it's fine, because calling 1 GG is all you really need, and having 2 seems cool, because if 1 gets damaged, you know you still have 1 in the deck to call out. That's it for grade 1s. Grade 2s, very standard 8, meaning 4 upstream and 4 history maker. These cards I think are a very big necessity for all Chronojet builds or timely builds, because these cards produce a lot. And then finally, I have choice of my own. I am playing 2 Steam Maiden Mariana, or Marianne, whatever. Just because when you call her, especially when you're playing 12 crits, the extra 4k off this when calling her is really strong, in my opinion. And she's not a bad ride at that too if you ride her, because it doesn't give you it doesn't let you use your history maker or your upstream as a ride. 4 Chronojet Dragon, if you say it's Chronojet, want to be sure he's your Vanguard. 3 Bally, again more Chronojet. And then I am playing 1 Square 1 Dragon. I took out the Melon for this. I actually like how this build went with 3 Melon over the 4th and double 3 Melon and 2 GG, and still being able to play 1 Square 1 Dragon. People really I see people on the fence about this card, playing it or not playing it. I decided to give it 1 try today, and it worked out fine in one of my games against I think it was against Aquaforce Tetra Boil. It helped me out. Just the fact that he becomes a 0, and he was able to become, after time leaping, he was able to become a Melon. So I swing, and then I time leaped it, and became a 1, which became a Melon, which became an 11k, which called out a Heart Thump Worker. And then I attacked with my next stage, and my next stage got perfect guarded, and then I just moved it into the soul, and it was able to do its plays with Chronojet. But that is the complete main deck. As for your G zone, you play 4 next stage. Next stage is really the best. Not your first turn stride, obviously, because of the GB2 skill, but it's actually one of the better grade 4s in this deck. Really causes big pushes and really could neg your opponent from hand advantage too. So 4 next stages. Then you play the Chronos build, or the Chronos line. Flipping this with Metallica Phoenix and then Chronos Command. This helped me out a lot against the 2 Aquaforce players I played. One was Lavas, one was Tetra Boil. Really screwed them over. Then I did play against one of the Gold Paladin builds. Or not Gold Paladin. Which one's Miles Royal Paladin? Really screwed up his line. Really good. I kind of like these 3. I think out of all the cards, like this plus Metallica Phoenix is actually yeah, 2 Metallica Phoenix. Metallica Phoenix are like the staples of the Stride deck. I feel like every Gear Chronicle player should at least be playing these, or at least 1 Metallica Phoenix, but I played 2 just in case, because the extra time leap really does help. I actually ended up my opponent got through my 4 next stages, and I did have another play if I was able to time leap. So it's a good thing that I did run the extra Metallic Phoenix to stride, or to time leap my units to push for at least, I think it was 5 attacks that turn, and he couldn't guard. One Fate Rider Dragon, didn't really go into it, but just in case, another extra time with plus power. And then one Upheaval Pegasus. I decided to play this over Fiery Colossus because Upheaval could really screw up those decks that pressure, like Link Joker, Thabez, Beast DD, any of those, and really screw up the formation. I was actually able to do this off the Milo deck that I played against, and he lost a really good field and ended up with 3 triggers, 1 grade 2 and 1 grade 1. So it was I guess that it really hurt him that I played that. Now I know people will be just like Fiery Colossus better, but personally I never go into Fiery Colossus, so I decided to take it out. As for all of these, somewhere in the tournament I did run into using them, so that really helped out. 1 Sea Breeze, just in case for those those people who try to grade 2 you. 3 Alluru, really powerful G unit. The fact that it returns stuff to the deck, which causes time leaping like more viable, especially if your stuff do go in the drop zone as well, returning a trigger. So really, you can play up to like 7 heal triggers, and if you want, or if you could, like, hit them. But the fact that it doesn't really return triggers, sometimes in the games I would return one of the Heart Thumps. That way, like, I know I could hit an extra draw and extra crit at the same time, plus an extra 5k to Chrono Jet. And then finally, 1 Refana. Never really went to Refana. I think I only went to her once, and that was to save my Melum and call out a Heart Thump that was in the deck. So yeah, this is so guys, this is my second place Gear Chronicle deck that I got today at locals. With this, I'll be sure to update you guys, and I'll be sure to record games. Shout out to my friend Soulful Vanguard, Roger, you're very cool. Big supporter, guys. He doesn't really post anymore, but shout out, just want to give shout out to him, and shout out to my older brother Joe, helping me get back into the game. But with Kagero at least, and this deck came all by myself, and I wanted to showcase it to you guys because I think this deck is really fun. It's amazing. But yeah, so guys, this is Joel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Signing out.